Welcome again, people, and this is Coding with Glen. And in this tutorial, we're gonna be diving deep into the layout. So we're just gonna hover here and just close others and just focus on the ones we want. So as you can see here, we have layout activity main. So this is our resource we need to edit for our UI, UX in fact. So as you can see, there is a segment like ara.layout, so it's referencing to the layout in the rest directory right here. That's layout. So the ara here is an ara class that combines and integrates all resources within your application. So this ara class, you're going to be seeing it more often, and you can reference even your IDs when you talk about IDs. So now what you're going to be doing is we're going to just hover and go on to activity main, and it's loading and initializing. As you can see, that the first impression we're seeing here, we're seeing a text view here as an empty text view that is there. And of course, if we were to run our application, we only see this text view. But of course, we said, as you can see here, we have a palette at the other end of the side, and it has many views you can use in the Android application that are containers and widgets or buttons, text, depending on your preference, of course. So on the component tree down here, you can see it's building, and you can see it has constraint layout at the topmost of it. That is the top layer we are dealing with. But for now, we kind of like not wanting to deal with constraint layout because we're growing gradually. We're going to start off with the linear layouts here as we promised. So we're just going to click here where it says code. Of course, you can do split here for your screen to view, but for my screen, it's going to be just like that, but of course we do not want to split screen because we're going to be hovering through the screens one by one. So what you need to do right now is just click on code alone so that we can see what we're doing. So what I'm going to do here, just for making sure that everyone has a good user interface experience, we're just going to put it at full screen. Do I need full screen here? No, actually we're going to put it at presentation mode. Let's see what happens here. And at presentation mode, as you can see, you can now see clearly with me here. So we're just gonna clear off these. I'm gonna be hovering through the presentation mode and the other, just to make it easy for me to go through the application. So we're just gonna say linear layout, and as you can see, it's inferring for you need a linear layout, but beware, you're going to click the top one. But as Android is development, we have now Android X, that is this support material for compatibility issues, app compatibility. But now we're going to choose the Android X linear layout combat, for compatibility reasons. And as you can see, we are now using a linear layout in our application. So what it does is going to be a grouping our elements in a linear layout format. And of course, with this linear layout, as you can see our layout in the code, we have this automatically is inferred by the Android. You don't have to worry about this thing, but if you want to know more, you can search about it. But you've got the important part is to know the layout width and the layout height. So it comes through by prefixing it with the Android and a colon. So you can say match parent or wrap content. These are two options you have. Wrap content, as you can see, and this will just wrap the content, and this layout will be as huge as much as the content is, if you understood me correctly. But you can also put your size here in DP and many other inferred sizes that are there, but for now you're just gonna focus on the DP, and you'll grow as we move along. So the DP is just a dependency pixel, the sizing of the screen, depending upon the pixels of your phone. We're just gonna be making the height of our layout as of 250 DP dependency pixels. And of course we can do something that is an orientation on our layout, and as you can see, you just have to press enter and everything's done for you. Then there are two options of this orientation. It's either your linear layout is gonna go on vertically or it's gonna go on horizontally. So that means that your elements are gonna be aligned in a horizontal manner, one after the other, in linear horizontal manner. If you put vertical, it's gonna be in linear vertical manner, and that's just about it. So for now, we're just gonna be clicking linear. We're just going to be putting the horizontal layout, and as we can go to the design here, we can see that we put on 250 DP on our layout here, and as you can see, there is not much here. We just have text, and our text is now at the top most of our application. So for now, what you're gonna be needing to do is, let me just hover there. It's refusing to get through. All right, we're just gonna be clicking on our linear layout, and as you can see, these are the properties of our linear layout. We can work with the design view, and you can see that we place here 250 dp in code, by text, and you can also change this here. Just click the down arrow and place merge parent, and as you can see, our view changed. We are now merged to the parent. And as you can see, we can click here, text view, and when we click on text view, we can see the properties of our text view. And for now, it's wrap content on the width, wrap content on the height, and at the topmost there, we can set an ID. So an ID is going to be that thing that defines our element when we encounter it in our code. That's a unique ID that represents the item, that is the text view. So we can name this one as name view. Well, let's just say TV name here. TV name, that's going to be the ID of our text, and press enter there to change. And then we go down, we see here there's a thing which says text here, and on that text here you see it says hello world, and that is the text we're having, hello world, in as much as you're not able to see it. But if you can check within your ID, you can actually know that this is saying text view. So if you click here and you change this maybe to your name, my name is Glen, and press enter, and automatically it changed. But for us to see actually what is in a name, we're gonna talk about how you can change the text size of your text. So if you type text size, you can see that the option is here, and you can also change it automatically here. And we're gonna put in 20 HP. It's not huge enough for us to see. Maybe we're gonna put it at HP, and as you can see it now comes out clear, and you can see that it's right Glen, that's the text we input in there. And now there is another option, of course, you could have used. You could have gone to the code editor, click here, and as you can see, it is already done here, implemented for us. You could have done it manually, like just type Android and say text size, and you can see it's coming out, and you have to just type 40 HP. Oh, I forgot the brackets. 40 HP, and as you can see right now, that's the same effect. If you go to our design view, where we see it's still the same. And now, one thing I needed to tell you before we go any further, as you can see, in some instances you may see someone writing here DP. I wouldn't myself consider that a good practice, because it is some effects on your application. If you put in DP here, it's dependent upon the pixels of the phone you're using. So what happens if you were using an Android phone that has a huge screen and the other one has a little screen? So the text is going to be resizing. It's going to be as huge, not resizing, not so flexible, depending on the screen you have. So if we put HP, it's going to be screen pixels. It's going to be dependent upon the screen we have, So this is the best practice I would recommend as of now. So we're going to be walking through and using the ISP throughout. So we just see how to make one view. So in the next tutorial, we jump in and talk about the other views and make them in text. So we're just going to do one thing here in the text editor. For the next tutorial, we're going to be just hovering around the text, doing these creations in our text editor for the layout. And then when we talk something about constant layout, we will see how we can do that with our design view without having to type everything, and make our development quicker and faster. So I'll see you in the next tutorial, and please subscribe, and I'll see you